Hi, I'm Susie Stonefield Miller, and I want to answer the question, what is art journaling? Art journaling to me is a no rules creative practice. It doesn't require that you know anything about art. You don't have to have had any art classes in your past or know how to draw or paint or perspective or anything about colors. You really don't have to know about it. It's about taking these ingredients: color, marks, imagery, texture, and words, and creating a recipe that works for you. And every time you approach your page, it can be a different recipe. It can be more of one ingredient, less of another. You can leave ingredients completely out of it. You can do just color, just marks on the page, or just journaling with a little bit of color. You don't have to use imagery, whatever. It's a combination of those pieces that are what we use to express ourselves. Art journaling is a process-oriented kind of art making. So rather than what is the end product being our concern, no, our concern is what happens all the way through this process. The end result, the product, the finished art journal page, yes, it's amazing. It's really satisfying. It's something you could totally be proud of. But really, the crux of the issue is what happened from when you started to when you finished. How did you feel? What awarenesses arose? What kind of transformation happened? So that's the focus for me in art journaling, the process. It's also very much heart-centered. I really encourage you when you're art journaling to get out of your head and into your body. Turn off all the thoughts, the inner critic that shows up, all of the things that are like telling you what you should do or what it's about. As much as you possibly can, get out of your head and into your body and your felt experience. So while you're working, thoughts will arise. It's a very contemplative kind of process. So thoughts will arise just like they do in meditation, and you just sort of let those thoughts go without really hanging on to them until maybe one really feels like really resonates and you decide, okay, that's something I want to go with. Then that's something you can hold on to, and maybe that informs how you approach your page going forward. So I think that the key here, though, is that we start in our hearts when we're art journaling, and we're not up in our heads spinning all these rules, all these thoughts. We're just in our body felt experience on the page. One thing that's really powerful about that is that we're giving voice to our intuition. We're giving voice in a way to the voiceless part of ourselves. So, for example, we work with imagery, maybe shushing the brain of what the imagery is about, just allow our intuition to guide us. We choose different pieces, we put them down on the page, we continuously say to ourselves, I don't know what this is about. I'm not sure why these are all resonating with me. But we let them be there on the page, we let it show up, and then from that, meaning develops, and often our intuition, our unconscious mind has led us to a lesson, to some teaching, some learning that we needed to have. So incredibly powerful to work that way. One thing I love about art journaling is that we work in a sketchbook. So here's an example of one of my art journals sort of bursting with stuff. And the thing that's nice about working in a sketchbook versus working on a canvas or something that you would frame and put on the wall is that we are not worrying about that end product, as I said before. So it takes some of the pressure off. The sketchbook is something that we can close at the end of a day and put it back on the shelf or on a table, and it's private, and you can share it if you want to, but your intention wasn't that you're making a work of art to go behind the couch on the wall of your living room. That is super important that you're not making a work of art. It's an exercise in self-expression. That doesn't mean to say that it's not beautiful, because it is beautiful, but it is not the purpose of it. The purpose of art journaling is self-expression, and it's not making an art or craft that you would then need to display and get approval from other people about. So to me, that's a huge piece of this. And then in terms of that, letting go of our expectations comes in, and that's why I have this sign up here that says let it go. So we're letting go of the expectations of what this is in the end, like what is art making. We're letting go of that expectation in favor of letting ourselves just feel onto the page with color, imagery, and words. Another thing is we're letting go of any expectations we have of who we are and who we are not. So I'm an artist, I'm not an artist, letting go of that expectation, because that doesn't matter in this work. It doesn't matter if you're an artist or not an artist, because this is not about that. This is just about self-expression. And in terms of the expectations around what's on the page, or what an art journal page is supposed to look like or be, you can let go of that expectation too. And you can let go of the expectation of what it's not supposed to be. There just should be no expectations. Whatever shows up is what it's supposed to be. I have found art journaling to be healing and transformative and extremely satisfying and fun. And I hope that you'll enjoy it too, that you'll try to make some art journal pages with the techniques that I have available to share with you, and that this video has answered a little bit of your questions about what is art journaling.